Ladies and gentlemen, do you see this can here of Isabella tomatoes? Of course, you see it. I don't know how the lighting is here. So let me explain to you something. These tomatoes, they may very well come from New York, but they may come from Italy. I'm going to explain something to you about the food in the Philippines. Now, I just did, and I don't know why, I did a 1 minute, 2 minute video about my live stream that I'm doing now. And when I put in the title of the video the following words, and I'm going to read exactly as I put it in: Philippines foods and what they are putting in the food that is destroying the human genome. I think the video was about 2 minutes and a few seconds. The video live stream notification that I was going to come on in 45 minutes did not go through. 0 participants. No one came to the live stream. When I looked at the video to see why, what happened, here's what I saw. This live stream recording is not available. And there's the title. And yet, the live stream recording was recorded as public, and it was recorded to be a prema for my live stream at 10 a.m. this morning, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, apparently, you are not allowed to put certain words in the title of videos any longer. And I find it amazing that they would see the words in the title of the live stream and then ban the video from even being played, even for one view. There were no views, 0. So I'm going to have to word my dissertation properly, because apparently this algorithm that they have working the system is not going to allow you to put words in the titles and then allow the videos to be seen. I have so much trouble believing this. It could have gone through and just been age restricted, maybe, but foods and additives that will cause multiple problems. I mean, what is the problem with the title? So I don't know. So here I'm going to go back to my live stream. I see 5 people here. Welcome to the machine. Let me go to the comments section. If anybody's here and you can hear me, just let me know. How are you doing? Or just push a bunch of 1 so I know you can hear me, because I don't know what's going on today. And then we're going to talk about my injury, my foot, my infection, my ongoing problem. I won't show you pictures of it, but I will tell you how bad it got. I will tell you what the hospital said. I will tell you what the doctor said. I will tell you what medicines they gave me. I will tell you that in 6 months of back and forth medications, antibiotics, nothing at all, any doctor or hospital or test affected my foot one way or the other. It was equally bad July 7th when I went to the doctor as it was on January 30th when I left for New York. I mean, February 30th when I went to New York. Hello, Go-Go. Hello, welcome to the machine, Go-Go Bobo, sister. Hello. I'm talking about how the foods affected the wound on my foot here. And I have discovered what the problem is. In fact, it's almost every food that is processed in the Philippines causes my foot to get the infection to reoccur. And to the same degree it was originally, maybe worse, until I eventually, by process of elimination, cut out 50 foods and 50 foods and food items in order to find out what it was that was affecting my foot. So I'm going to go back to my notes. You people that are watching, you should pay attention. Consider me the canary in the coal mine, because my body is more susceptible to these chemicals that are in the foods. So let's start off with this. If I drink the filtered water that comes in the bottles in the Philippines, the infection in my foot gets progressively worse by the day. If I eat the chicken, whether it's chicken liver, fried chicken, or roasted chicken that they are selling in the Philippines, my foot gets progressively more infected every day. If I eat the eggs from the chicken, my foot gets progressively worse every day. But what I did is I made a list of all the foods I was eating. And then I thought about this, because when I went back to New York on March 1st, my eating habits were any food I wished to eat, 100% only distilled water, and no restrictions on any food at all. But one thing I did not consume in New York that I did consume before I left for New York, and what I did consume when I got back, is before I went to sleep, up until March 1st, I would take 2 shots of tequila before I went to sleep to put me to sleep faster. Not that it takes me more than a few minutes to sleep, but it makes my first 3 hours of sleep a more comfortable sleep. When I got back from New York, after not drinking even so much as a drop of alcohol that I can recall, on May 1st, I started drinking tequila again, 2 shots before I went to sleep. So that was something I was drinking before and after New York. So in New York, no restrictions on any foods at all. No restrictions on anything. Salt, pepper, garlic salt, garlic, fried garlic, especially salami, baby, and cheese. No restrictions, as much as I wanted. Yellow cheese, pepper jack cheese, mozzarella cheese, garbanzo cheese, and provolone. 3 types of salami: hard salami, Genoa salami, and some off-brand Genoa salami. All I want. Any bread, bagels, whole wheat bread, peanut butter, jelly, any food I wanted to eat in New York City. And in 3 weeks, a wound that would not heal up in the Philippines after seeing 5 doctors and 3 hospitals and several tests, including what they call a full panel. Nothing in the Philippines changed the infection at all. It was the same on February 28th when I left for New York as it was July 12th of 2018 till February 28th, 2019. Within 3 weeks of getting to New York, my foot healed 100%. The color that was from my middle shin down, which was a dark brown when I was in the Philippines, turned to a vibrant a vibrant color, beige or pink. So within 3 weeks, a wound that wouldn't heal for 8.5 months healed up in 3 weeks. So I realized it was something in the food. When I got back to the Philippines, and you're going to have to excuse me, I'm going to go to my comments in case somebody has a question. Hey, Peekaboo, the Rabbi Canary. I am telling you, hey, thanks very much, Peekaboo. Simo Travel Vlogs. Good morning. Welcome to the machine, Simo, and welcome to the machine, Peekaboo. Peekaboo, I know that you're always sending stuff on Facebook, and I have just simply don't do Facebook. I just don't have time. You can bury yourself in Facebook for 4 or 5 hours. There is one person that sends me stuff on Facebook that maybe after a few weeks I will look at it. So my apologies for not reading any comments on Facebook. I just push everything that is in Facebook comes to me from Facebook goes in spam, and I don't even read unless it's from one person who I have a business relationship with. I don't read it. So my apologies. I apologize. I hope you and Nestler are doing wonderful. I did enjoy our time together here in Bohol, and perhaps I thought maybe we were going to see each other when you came to fetch Nestler, but I do understand that you didn't have, I mean, your time is precious when you're doing all of the things that you were doing in order to get Nestler back. Okay, so my apologies, Peekaboo. Let's see. Simo said, had not had. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Hope you have a good one. Yeah, I did. Simo, thank you. I had a good birthday. I went out with a business relationship that I have here. He's building hotels here in the Philippines, and we've become quite good friends over the last 4 months, 3.5 months. And we went out to dinner at the Henin. I do have a video of them singing me happy birthday. I don't have a video of them singing me happy birthday. Somehow, my birthday song singing, I probably pushed photo instead of video because I didn't have my glasses on. And I got a photo of the people coming to my table from a distance, but I did video of them singing happy birthday to the person on my next table. So it's the same song and the same waiters and bus people and waitresses in the Henin. So it's just that I don't have the video of me blowing out the candle on a piece of cheesecake that my friend and business associate Mai bought me. So, but thanks for that. That video will be up soon. So now I'm going to digress back into what I did and didn't do. My foot is, I'm going to tell you in advance, my foot at this time is 95+% healed up, and how that occurred. So as I stated, if you're here and you haven't pushed the thumbs up, try to push the thumbs up or the thumbs down if you don't like the way I present the topic. Either one are more than welcome. So I'm going to go back to my notes. So again, I was talking about my feet were brown to black from the middle of my shins down to my toes, and my toes as well, in the Philippines. Back in New York, in 3 weeks, a wound that wouldn't heal up in 8.5 months healed up in a record time of 3 weeks. This was an open wound down to the flesh. I could show you pictures, but it's not pretty, and I won't do that. 3 weeks, the wound is gone. 2 more weeks, the scar tissue on the wound is gone. There is nothing to see. It's just normal skin. So that lasted for 3 more weeks. No, lasted for about 5 weeks. And on April 30th, I left back for the Philippines. So when I got back to the Philippines, digressing, no alcohol in New York, but any food, any salt, any spice, any food at all, and my foot healed. When I got back to the Philippines, I actually bought a case of tequila. because we ran out of tequila, Daisy and I. And I don't drink tequila much. And in fact, that case of tequila, 12 bottles, what we did before we went to sleep was Daisy would have 1 shot of tequila and I would have 2 shots of tequila, and that would just knock us right out. And then you'd have a peaceful sleep for a few hours, and then when you wake up, you go back to sleep normally, no more tequila. So that case of tequila went from May 4th or 5th until 3 weeks ago at the Fiesta in Panglao in Alona Beach. And I gave 4 bottles of the tequila to the people at the Fiesta. So 12 bottles, 8 bottles lasted 8 weeks between 2 people. Okay. I'm now back in the Philippines. And I didn't bring my water distiller with me, but it was in a box getting shipped to the Philippines. So I know that the distilled water in New York had to have an effect. So I went out and bought 20 10-liter jugs of distilled water. And that's what I drank until my distiller got back. So but I didn't do that for 2 to 3 weeks after I got back. I went to drinking the bottled filtered water here. And as soon as I got back, within 10 days, underneath the skin, the wound started to be sensitive to the touch. And I'm going, how can this be? It's gone. It went away. It's not supposed to come back. The skin is intact. It's pink. This coloration in the foot is normal again. Why is this happening? Because each day it got worse. Well, I said, the one thing that I can change immediately is the distilled water. So I went out and bought 20, over the course of a month, about 20 jugs of pure distilled water. And that's what Daisy cooked with, but that's what I drank. She drank the regular bottled water. The infection still continued to come back, to the point within a month, the wound opened up again. The wound opened up again. So we're talking from May 3rd when I got back to June 3rd, the wound opened up. And not only the wound on my foot, but the 2 places that I had infections on my shin from the welding rod burn opened up as well and started leaking. And I'm going, okay, let me make a list of everything I'm eating in the Philippines. And on the list was fried chicken from a fried chicken stand on the side of the road. Ellen's Fried Chicken. There's a big Ellen's Fried Chicken in Alona Beach. First of all, it tastes like crap, but it's quick junk food. And now they raised the price. Amazing. But anyway, it's not worth 40 cents a piece of chicken. They cut the size of the chicken down 20%, and they raised the price of the chicken 15%. So they basically put a 35% increase in the price of the chicken, and it's garbage to begin with. But it's quick junk food, and I like fried foods. So I eliminated 100% fried chicken, figuring they probably putting a chemical in the chicken batter that they fry the chicken in, like an adobo. Okay, so the wound did not stop, because what I did was, instead of eating fried chicken, I went to the store and bought fresh frozen chicken instead of pork, because pork is supposed to be less healthy for you than chicken. So now I'm on a strict regimen of fresh frozen chicken, because there is no such thing as fresh chicken here unless you slay the chicken in your yard and pluck it. So now I'm on a regimen of fresh frozen chicken, eggs, and chicken liver. Well, foot got worse progressively. What else was I eating besides that? Water is distilled water. Coffee was the same, except I found a whole bunch of packets of 3-in-1 coffee mix. So with my normal consumption of freeze-dried coffee, I put one package of 3-in-1. The foot got progressively worse still. Even I'm eating fresh frozen chicken, fresh eggs, and chicken livers. So soon I realized that that was problematic. So I cut out the chicken, the fresh frozen chicken, but nothing changed. So then I cut out the chicken livers and nothing changed. So when I substituted chicken for chicken livers, nothing changed. It meant that I'm going to eat more eggs. So instead of eating 2 eggs a day, I may have been eating 6 eggs a day as a supplement for the protein in the chicken and the liver. Nothing changed. In fact, my foot got progressively worse again, to the point where it opened up to the size of a $50 open wound, open flesh wound. So what am I eating now that's different than in New York? I'm having 2 shots of tequila before I go to sleep, sometimes 1, sometimes 2, but that's it. No more than that, and never any alcohol during the day. I'm eating eggs, more eggs than I normally would eat, but I'm not eating chicken. And nothing is changing on my foot except it's getting progressively worse. Am I eating anything else? I'm not eating candy. I'm not eating street food. I am not eating rice, but I was eating bihon, B-I-H-O-N, and I was eating canton with my vegetables and my eggs. So I would fry up, or Daisy would fry up when she was here, we would fry up fried cabbage or fried Chinese pichai, and then throw some cabbage on that, or under that actually, and then I would have some bihon with no soy sauce. Well, soy sauce stopped after about 2 more weeks. That was something, by the process of elimination, one thing at a time. So Daisy was adding only 1 teaspoon or so of soy sauce to the canton or the bihon. So it was getting worse. I said, stop the soy sauce. So she went to salt. Nothing changed. Stop the salt. Stop the soy sauce. Nothing changed. So I stopped the canton and the bihon. Nothing changed. I said, it has to be the eggs. So I went out and bought 3 kilos of pork. This is back around September 1st, 2nd, 3rd, first week of September. My foot is now at the same infectious stage it was July of 2018 and getting worse. So now what am I eating? I'm eating eggs, no rice, no canton, some bread with the eggs, 2 pieces of bread with each meal, 6 slices of bread a day. And nothing changed because I was still eating eggs. So I said, I had 50 eggs left. I gave them to one of my neighbors. No eggs. Now I went on a diet of pork around September 5th. Pork, cabbage, and or Chinese pichai, and coconut oil, not the regular frying oil. Whatever kind of oil that is that you fry up. Palm oil, no palm oil. And some from September 5th or 6th, when I eliminated eggs, I eliminated canton, I eliminated bihon, I eliminated soy sauce, I eliminated salt from the Philippines. I eliminated the 3-in-1 coffee packets weeks before. I eliminated the chicken liver. I went on a strict diet of pork and cabbage, period. Nothing else. No bread, except for one sweet pan in the morning with my coffee. I like that. And since September 10th till today is September 27th, the wound that opened up equally to last July, and that was bigger than a $50, American $50, is now nothing more than a thin strip of open scabbing flesh. Not so bad, but it's closing every day. The color in my foot when I was eating the chicken eggs and the chicken liver, my feet were brown to black, my toes. Now, we're talking only 22 days. The color is back in my feet. The feeling has come back in my feet. The swollenness in my feet, which is something I didn't talk about. Before I went to New York, I could only use sandals, my Sandugo sandals. I had a pair for 25 years. I don't know if they're Sandugos. Yeah, I think they are Sandugos. I bought them in America. They're REI sandals, excuse me, not Sandugo, REI. I could only wear sandals. I couldn't wear shoes. I couldn't wear sneakers. I couldn't fit my feet in anything I owned. When I went to New York, all the swelling went away and I could fit into my boots that I had in New York and my sneakers in New York. Not a problem. You'll see me walking around in New York in sandals in the snowstorm, outside shoveling snow in sandals, because when I got there, my feet didn't fit in anything. So when I got back, my feet were normal size. So I went out and bought, normally I wear 10.5, 11. They didn't have any sneakers. This is back May 8th or May 9th, before we went to Balikasag Island. That's why I know the date. And I went and bought, they didn't have 10.5, 11, so I bought 12, but I wanted 2 pairs, and they only had 1, so I bought 13. My feet were swimming in size 12. 13s I bought so I could wear an extra thick pair of socks when I walk or take long hikes. Well, I'm back. Remember, I'm back here now eating all this garbage. Now my feet don't fit into a size 12. They don't. I couldn't slip my foot in there with Crisco grease on my feet. And in a size 13, it's too tight to walk in the shoes. That's how swollen my feet. So basically, my feet swelled up between 3 and 4 foot sizes. Moving forward, where I cut out the eggs, the chicken liver, the chicken, fried chicken batter, bihon, canton, soy sauce, salt, and anything that had to do with adobo. My feet are once again swimming in a size 12. Coloration back. The scab on the top of my foot is almost gone, almost to the degree I might have been able to go diving in another week. I usually dive on my birthday, but I didn't go because I don't want the scab to come off. That is what the food in the Philippines has done to me. That's why I said in the beginning, I'm the canary in the coal mine. It doesn't do that to anybody else, but you have to understand this infection I got had nothing to do with bacteria. It may have been a compartmentalized bacteriological infection, according to Clark Henderson, who's a head surgeon at a hospital in New York. It may have been that, but it was caused by a welding rod burn. Spatter from a welding rod burnt me 2 places on my shin on my right leg, 2 places on my shin on my left leg, and the top of my foot on my right foot. All 5 places got infected and would not heal. However, any of the wounds I got since that day healed up normally. So there was something in the Chinese welding rod that caused these infections. I know this to be true because Daisy had the same infection going back into February. And by the time I got my infection in July, her infection was on her foot, but it had closed up to a scab. So after 4 months or 5 months from her infection, her foot getting infected, when her foot was almost all scabbed over, my infection started, but from a burn. It wasn't passed on from bodily fluids or contact. Something in the welding rod. Now, I've had 1,000 cuts, 1,000 scrapes, 1,000 tears on my foot, fingers, hands, and body since last July, and every one of them heals up perfectly normal. I do not have diabetes. I do not have a blood sugar problem. I do not have any medical condition in which I should be concerned about according to the hospital tests. Slim Jim, thanks for stopping by. Welcome to the machine. John Escape. Yes, John, I got your message. Thank you, John Escape. Thank you. Welcome to the machine. Scott LaFuego. Why does the notification not let my good friend and wise and learned consigliere, Michael Fazio, has gone live? Because we have a turd in the punch bowl, in all likelihood, who has been harassing me with comments, and I had to block, stating things like, oh, look, your subscribers have gone down. What happened? Did they fall off the side of the flat earth? So apparently my videos are getting lower views and lower view counts because of the flagging mechanism that's going on. And I don't care, because eventually that's all going to take care of itself. So that's to answer your question. I'm going to go back. Scott Del Fuego, thank you for stopping by. And so now I'm going to tell you, Daisy's foot infection was 99% healed up when I got mine. My foot infection started in July and is now healing up. It is exactly 14 plus months. And what I did now, here's what I eat today. Here's what I ate today. I had my sweet pan with a cup of coffee this morning. I had pineapple. That doesn't affect me. Fresh pineapple chunks. Doesn't affect me at all. I haven't had Canton in 4 weeks. Haven't had Bihun in 4 weeks. Haven't had not even one shot of alcohol since the end of Fiesta, which was, I think that was August 18th. No alcohol, no salt, no sugar, no soy sauce. And now my foot is healed up. So when you people come to the Philippines, you probably can eat anything you want, but here's the catch. What it did to me and my compartmentalized bacteriological infection, and how it affected that one particular burn that happened on the same day. It dropped a lot of spatter on my foot and legs. The spatter hit a piece of steel on the floor, and it spattered everywhere. It was a big chunk of molten steel. That's good to hear, John Escape. Hello, Dennis. Welcome to the machine. John Escape is a man who has many talents. He knows where the best pizza in Rome, Italy is, and he likes football. If that's what you enjoy doing on your time off, I hope that you get all the football in you can this season. I personally don't watch sports, but if that's what you enjoy, then that's something that I hope you get to do. Sasha, welcome to the machine. Sasha, I'm going to give a shout out to Sasha because he has a channel and he does towing from Florida to Maine and from Maine to Florida. Any size boat, vessel, or piece of equipment, boats up to 38 feet. And he has a licensed tow truck company. So if you need towing, Sasha is a person on the Eastern Seaboard that can get you towed with his equipment. And if you're going in a different direction, he may even be able to give you advice how to get it done in a different direction. So thank you for stopping by, Sasha. Scott Del Fuego, I bought a couple of cases of distilled water today to start drinking based upon Michael's advice and research. I know he does not provide advice that he is not personally vetted. Okay, Scott, so let me give you a little bit of advice about the distilled water and how, okay, to buy distilled water in plastic bottles that you may or may, you're welcome, Sasha, no problem. Ah, very nice. Sasha's coming to the Philippines. Yeah, yes, Simo. I don't care about that guy. Okay, so yeah, okay, I got it that they're PBA free, but I'm going to explain to you that you can buy distilled water in 10-liter bottles and eliminate the plastic into the environment. Or you can go online and look up, if you have a pencil and paper, H2O water distillers. I'm going to give you the link. Hold on a minute. And you can buy them on Amazon.com from $59. And they go from 800 watts, H2O water distillers, DISTILLERS, water H2O distillers. They go from 800 watts to 1,000 watts. You can buy one for a gallon, or you can buy, it's H2O Labs, LABS, water distillers, home and commercial. So if you don't want to mess around making water twice a day, because I will tell you that with a good connection to your and close to your panel, not on an extension cord, but it does take 3.5 hours with a 1,000 watt water distiller. That's been my experience. It takes 5 hours with an 800 watt water distiller. So you're going to have to put this thing on your counter or something. Keep it in your garage because it's just going to pump out heat. But winter's coming, so it would be free heat. Let me give you the link for this, Scott. So I have a 1-gallon water distiller because I've had it since probably 2005, which makes it 14 years old. So these are quite a good product. Now, this is the second one I had. I had one from 95 to 2000. I'm thinking I bought a new one around 2005. I don't remember how old it is because it's such a long time ago. And so you have the choice. Okay, here is the link. Now, what I just want to tell you about these water distillers is one is 1 gallon and then they have 2-gallon ones. So if you don't want to dilly-dally around with it, you have to understand the 2-gallon one may be better off. You put it on overnight, it takes 7 hours or 8 hours. When you wake up, you shut it off. Now, I'm going to have to talk to you on the phone. Hosimo, I will get to that comment in a minute. I'm going to have to explain something to you if you buy it on the phone, Scott. I can't explain physically now. I could do a video on how to make a water distiller last, in my case, 14 years. Okay. And if you don't do what I tell you with the water distiller and you utilize it as the instruction book tells you to utilize it, you can guarantee it won't last 5 years. So either I'll have to do a live stream with the water distiller that I can't do now because it's making water, and how to make it last 14 years, and how you never have to clean it, because cleaning it is problematic. So, okay. All right, Scott. I'll call you after the live stream then, and I will tell you how to clean it, how to utilize it, and then I'll do a live stream. Maybe I'll do a live stream Sunday on water distillers. So right now, if anybody has any questions about the foods in the Philippines, please, by all means, feel free to share your questions. I will help you out. But where I was, I'm going to digress back. I'm not looking at my notes. I'm going to digress back to what the foods did to me. They will probably not do to you, because what caused the infection was Chinese welding rod spatter. But what makes the infection reoccur are the foods. So that means that the foods are doing something that allows the infection to reoccur, which means on a genetic level, the foods are affecting the way your body heals itself, and your liver, and probably your kidneys, perhaps your heart. I don't know. Clark Henderson could answer that question, but he's not here. And he may be here, but if he's here, he would be the one to answer that question. He's the head of some organizational hospital thing group, very high up in the doctor field. So I'm not a doctor, but I'm telling you that the foods that you are eating in the Philippines are not conducive. They're not the same. Something is in the soy sauce. Something is in the 3-in-1 coffee package. Something is in the salt. Something is in the Canton. Something is in the tomato paste. Something is in the ketchup. Something is in the vinegar, the suka. Something is in the adobo spices. Something is in every aspect of food. Something is in the egg. Something is in the chicken, fresh, frozen, fried, or roasted. Something is in the chicken livers, fresh. I mean, whether they are boiled eggs or fried eggs, something is in everything. It's almost as if it can't be just the water. It can't be just the water, because you get something like the tomato sauce. Del Monte comes from one place. The chicken eggs come from another. There's different purveyors of chicken. The soy sauce comes from another place in the Philippines. All this stuff is made in the Philippines. So whatever it is in the food, it's universal. And I personally have my belief that they are putting something in the food. I don't know what it is, but I do know that the only food that does not affect my foot, the wound, and the infection is fresh slayed baboy or hog. Okay, so I am now eating a strict diet, minimum fat, pork and Chinese pichay, which is like lettuce, and or cabbage. Nothing else. No eggs, no chicken, none of those things I said. So what is in the food? I don't know. Something is in the food that I know. The infection on my foot, I made a video 6 or 7 days ago. If I were to put it up on YouTube, it would get classified as age restricted and or not allowable content. So I'm going to have to put that on my Patreon account at the $10 level or above. My foot was not pretty 10 days ago, but it's getting real pretty now. It's getting pink. The black and the brown, the toes that were almost black disappeared. They're now regular color. My foot now swims in a size 12 where they didn't fit into a size 13 4 weeks ago or 5 weeks ago. I couldn't even get my foot in the size. I could get my foot into size 13, but it was too tight to walk. And that's after I took the cushioned sole out. Something is in the food, folks. You need to pay attention. You may have a liver problem. You may have a heart problem. You may have a kidney problem, and you may have swelling and discoloration of the feet that the doctors blame on diabetes, and it may not be diabetes. And you're going to have to do a process of elimination of all the things I said. And what do they tell you to do when you're diabetic? And I know better than most. My dad had diabetes from the age of 38 to the age of 75. They restrict your diet. And the restriction of the diet reduces the amount of insulin, or even whether or not you need insulin to go on insulin. So my dad lived with diabetes 48, 58, 68, 37 years. And he didn't die from a diabetic coma. He died from a heart attack. But that's besides the point. He was a 1 in a million man, my dad. The doctors said, what do you eat? He would eat a pound of spaghetti and wash it down with 2 cans of Coca-Cola. He would eat an entire box of Mike and Ike's. He would eat an entire large-size Hershey chocolate bar. One day, we're talking, he'd wake up in the morning and have 2 or 3 fried eggs with toast and butter. He slathered the butter on like that was, he had to use it up today. Mayonnaise he ate. He ate with his breakfast jelly, jam. He ate pancakes with jelly and jam and butter on it. Nothing affected him diabetically. His insulin went up and down, but he just took the insulin that was required according to the chart, and he was okay. He did have a few toes missing and 1 bone on the side of his foot, but that was because he was the most abusive diabetic that the doctors had ever known. And I know this because I went to the doctors, and I also went to New York twice when he had toes removed, and part of his what would be considered his pinky toe. The bone was removed from the toe back towards the ankle. He was the most abusive person in the diabetic history, according to any and every doctor. And I would ask them, and they would say, you have to keep him on a restricted diet. So I know that they have restricted diets, and it changes your diabetic tendencies. But I'm explaining to you that it goes, this problem with the blackening and the browning of my shins from my shin down to my toes, brown to black, it went away. It's gone. It's pink. It went away from just restricting my diet from all that other crap to coffee in the morning, 1 piece of pan, no bread, and none of the other things that I mentioned. Simply pork fried in coconut oil. Once I flip it and fry the second side, I throw in my cabbage. For a spice, I use red wine vinegar. And then once the cabbage starts to cook, I shut the burner off and let it sit for 15 or 20 minutes. And now I just eat pork and cabbage. Haven't had anything else but pork and cabbage in 2 weeks. Pretty much. I did have extra pan when I went to the city last week. So I'm going to read the comments. We're going to see what's going on here. Yeah, Scott. Well, I pretty much determined what the causative factor is. It had to be. I am certain if I started eating Canton again, my foot would break out and get worse. I am certain if I started drinking eating bihon again, my foot's going to get worse. I am absolutely certain if I put 10 drops of soy sauce in my foot, the swelling is going to swell up from swimming in a size 12 to not fitting in a size 13. I could do an experiment when my foot is altogether healed. I will show you my foot. Of course, it's going to have to be an age-restricted video. I will show you my foot before the live stream. I will consume 2 teaspoons of soy sauce, and within 30 minutes, my foot will heal. I'll show you my foot in a size 12, and within 30 minutes, my foot will no longer fit in that shoe. That's how sensitive I am to whatever chemical is in soy sauce. Now, I could do it on a different day with vinegar, or I could do it on a different day and eat eggs, 4 eggs. My feet will swell up the same way. It's an experiment that I've been doing. My feet now are absolutely normal size, normal color. I just have the scab to deal with on the top of the foot. And I don't know how to express this, but I am telling you that I ate any food at any time as much as I wished when I was in New York, and the infection disappeared and the skin healed in 3 weeks. In 5 weeks, the scar tissue was gone. My foot didn't even look normal anymore because I was so used to having swollen feet for a year and 2 months. Well, from July to the middle of March, the end of March, my foot was swelled up so big. In March, when the swelling went down, the color went away. I'm going, wow, whose feet are they? So that's, okay, Scott's talking about his daughter. It's the nickel mine. Well, that's a heavy metal, John Escape. John Escape says it's the nickel mines there. You can believe that. It may be going into the water table. It may be where they get the water for the commercial food processing plants. I don't know. I have to look up nickel mines in the Philippines. Scott's explaining his daughter is now probably the second most abusive diabetic. She may be the second, but she's not. She would have to go way beyond anything imaginable for a normal person. My dad ate anything and lots of it. I am explaining to you, Scott, and everybody else. All right, Tommy, I'll answer that question in a few minutes. My dad would wake up in the morning. Let's just say he started out with pancakes. This many pancakes, this big, with Aunt Jemima's syrup, in between smothering every pancake with, she liked strawberry jam, but grape jelly worked just as well, and piles of it. And then in his coffee, he would use sweet and low. Okay, so that was his breakfast. He wasn't much of a lunch eater. He might have a salami and cheese sandwich or liverwurst with onion on toasted white bread with Golden's mustard. He liked that. He had it almost every day. But dinner he would make, this sounds crazy. Okay, for dinner, man, I love this dish. This is one of my favorite dishes in the whole world. Dad would make 2 or 3 times a week. He would take 2 cans of anchovies, the small little cans like that, 2 cans. And he would take a quart of ragu marinara sauce, and he would fry up some onions and garlic, and then put the ragu sauce in the onions and the garlic, and then he would take and he'd cook that for about 15 minutes, not long. And then he would put the two cans of anchovies with the oil. Gotta have the oil. That's the best part. 2 cans of anchovies with the oil in the sauce. Now, he would just stir that around and take it off the stove, the top. Now, while this was going on, he has the back burner, 1 pound of spaghetti, not a half a pound, not 3/4 of a pound. He cooked it by the pound. And on the front burner, he'd take a frying pan and he would take 4C breadcrumbs and take the 4C breadcrumbs and put it in the Teflon or regular stainless steel frying pan, whatever was available. And he would fry up the breadcrumbs and brown the breadcrumbs. So get them nice and crisp. Soon as they were done, you don't leave them in the pan, they'll burn. Soon as they were done, he would take them and just throw them on a dinner plate, and they'd cool off in a few seconds. Now, the spaghetti gets done, drain the spaghetti in a Scoulabas, the strainer, and then take the spaghetti and put it in. He had a big bowl. The bowl was huge. It was like 10 inches in diameter and 4 inches deep. He'd fill that up. He'd put a ladle of sauce on the bottom. He'd fill it up with spaghetti, about 3/4 of a pound, and I would eat the rest if I was there. If I wasn't there, he would still put 3/4 of a pound of spaghetti in the bowl, and then he would eat the other 1/4 pound as a snack later on. He ate a pound of spaghetti. It's against the diabetic rules. After dinner, we're not done, and with dinner, a regular Coca-Cola, not Pepsi, Coca-Cola. After dinner, he would have an entire box of Mike and Ike's or a Hershey's chocolate bar. A whole Hershey's chocolate bar, whatever they weigh, 6 ounces, 7 ounces. And that was before, and before he went to bed, he'd have a cup of coffee with Sweet and Low, and he'd go right to sleep. One of those people I could do that. But he abused, he should have died when he was 42 years old. He never changed his diet. He only ate about 15 kinds of food. Tommy, hi, Super Mike. How's your internet? Actually, I called up and reamed them out a new one yesterday. My internet went on and off yesterday 40 times that I counted. How many times it went off when I went outside, I don't know. How many times it went off overnight. I called them up. I said, get these people here at some point in the afternoon without coming to my house, because the technicians know I was upset that they cut my wires the day of my birthday. Without coming to my house, the internet went off 100% for 40 minutes. When it came back on, I haven't had a problem. So apparently they knew the modem was working. Apparently they found another break or problem in the line and they fixed it. The internet has been good today. High quality. Thanks for asking. Welcome to the machine, Tommy. Okay, Scott Del Fuego. Okay, his sugar would run 300 plus. The doctors, sometimes he'd go into the hospital and the doctors say you should be dead with the sugar counts. I don't ever remember a 400. I remember 320s, 330s, 310s. And he would just adjust how much insulin. And he would check his insulin 4 or 5 times a day. And he was using the needle and he would just adjust it. Well, it was very high. Sometimes he'd go into get disorientated and someone was around. They give him some sugar or get the insulin injected into him. I had already moved to Florida, so I'm not real familiar with what occurred after the year 2000. And 1993 with the insulin. I remember he had it since he was 38. I remember going to New York and taking care of him when he was in the intensive care and he was supposed to die. But I do remember 300 counts. He came to live with me in Florida twice for several weeks. And in fact, he had to go back to New York. One of his toes got infected. He came and he was only here a few weeks and then he left there a few weeks. So 300s I remember, 400s I don't. Could have been, but the doctor said there's no reason for you to be alive, Tom. And there wasn't. I don't know. He never passed out in the car. He never passed out when I was talking to him. He never passed out ever. And if he did, it was just appearance that he was sleeping in his recliner. I don't know how to put it any different than that. He never passed out when he was driving. It was never a car accident because of diabetic coma. All right, so does anybody have any questions? I have a story to tell you people that I can't tell you. This is an amazing story. I just can't tell it. It's an amazing story. It's stranger than truth. And if no one has any questions, I'm probably just going to end this stream. I will not be doing a live stream on Saturday. I may just very well do a live stream Sunday morning with the water distiller. Scott, if you're going to be available a few minutes after I end the live stream, I'll turn on my Skype and give you a call. That's up to you. Just let me know. And when I receive an answer from you, I will end the live stream. Doesn't seem like anybody else has a question. Okay, good. All right, so John Escape, Tommy, Simo Travel Vlogs, and Sasha, and Go Bobo Sister. Thanks for stopping by. We did get quite a few thumbs up considering it only shows 13 watching. We have 15 thumbs up. Peekaboo, welcome. Again, thank you for stopping by. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, everyone. Salamat. I have a video. Some special lady singing me happy birthday, and it's loaded. I'm going to wait. I'll save that for Sunday. All right. Thanks. No, I don't usually do. I have a project that I'm working on there's a friend of mine who's building hotels. We're actually going to go out. We went out for my birthday, but we're probably going to go out for dinner again. We have something to discuss. Won't be doing a show Friday night, but I will be doing a show at 10 p.m. Saturday night Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Pacific Time. Right now, I have to, I'm going to end the live stream. I have some phone calls to make, mostly to America and to some of my friends in America, including Scott, who's going to be the first phone call. I also want to get in touch with Warren. I wasn't able to get in touch with Warren this morning. He's not answering his Skype, although I did see him on the computer at 3 a.m. I woke up to get something to drink. He posted a video. He didn't answer the Skype this morning at 7 a.m. my time, 10 a.m. his time. So with that, thank you, everybody. God bless. I will talk to you Saturday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm going to end the live stream. The links for the H2O water heater, water distiller are in the... let me post those again. Hold on. Let me post those links again. Highly recommend distilled water. Don't believe anything that anybody says that distilled water removes the minerals from your food. It does. It does. I mean, just from the water in your food, but you eat more than enough. I haven't eaten a vitamin I've tried vitamins a few times. They don't do anything for me. I haven't had a vitamin in a couple of years. waste of money, waste of time. Anybody that believes vitamins change anything other than the color of their urine is delusional at best. Maybe somebody has a specific dietary need for a vitamin, but I have never consumed vitamins. I've never been sick except for this foot thing. Has nothing to do with vitamins. Nothing that any medication, that any doctor, any hospital, any antibiotic did nothing to change the effect of the wound on my foot. So that's something I forgot to add. Warren. Okay, I'm just about to call you, and I'm going to call Scott also. Absolute water is absolute garbage. Distilled water is the only pure water known in this known universe, as far as I'm concerned. So no medicate, to answer your question, Tommy. Well, how about I try to get a three-way call, Warren, if we can figure that out again. Any medication that the doctors gave me for my foot did nothing. Any wound dressing that the doctors gave me for my foot did nothing. Any antibiotics that the doctors gave me for my foot did nothing. Any methodology in which to wrap my foot with the dressing and the fact that I changed the dressing every day did nothing to make the wound better. Nothing. So I'm telling you, it's diet. In my case, it was a completely a diet change of diet, and the wound went away. In somebody else's case, it could be different, but in my case, it was this food and the food processing methodology in the Philippines. And that's all I'm going to say about that. If I get involved with it any more than that, they'll flag my video. If I say what I think about the food industry in the Philippines, they will flag my video. As it won't be, they won't remove it, but they will flag it as age restricted. If I told you what I thought about the food industry in the Philippines, my video would go age restriction. Good night, everybody. Thanks again for stopping by. I'm Ping Permy from Michael Fazio and Daisy May in the Philippines, baby. I'm Ping.